Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm so happy that you're here. I have tried to film this video a couple times. So I'm super hopeful that this is third time's a charm because this is a video I've been pondering over creating for a while now. And my body has given me no choice but to do it now. So it is definitely time for me to sit down and give you a little bit of insight and raise a little bit of awareness into my brain disorder. So if you're interested to learn about what Chiari Malformation is, how it affects me, if you are new and you found this video because you or your child or your niece or your nephew was just diagnosed with this disease, definitely keep watching. If you have no desire in learning about it, please do me and you a favor and just go to another video. I'll have one suggested above that's makeup related. I would like to minimize the hate on this video especially. So I guess the best place to start is explaining what a Chiari malformation is. So it is something that you're born with. It happens in utero. Simply put, it is when the lower part of your brain tissue, is actually in your spinal column. So there are different types, and the type is determined by how much of this brain tissue is in your spinal column. So for me, example, I have type 1, which is arguably the best one to have if you have it. The lesser the type, the lesser the symptoms. For me personally, I have varied between 7 and 11 millimeters of my brain tissue being in my spinal column. My goal is to have 2 pictures here, one of a normal brain and one of a Chiari brain, which you can kind of see the difference. I am personally going to talk about my experience with type 1. If you know someone or you are diagnosed with type 2, 3, or 4, unfortunately I don't know a lot about that. I'm hoping to educate myself on it, but I am also in no way, shape, or form a medical professional. I'm just giving you my story. My diagnosis story is a little dramatic. Has this a lot of my life, and I think it's really crucial to tell you how I was diagnosed because this is a really rare condition and this is something that not many people have to deal with. Good, that's a good thing, but it's also something that is very overlooked and misdiagnosed. I always had headaches growing up as a kid and they always were around my cycle, so a lot of the doctors that I went to see kind of just wrote it off. They were just like, oh, you just get migraines. That's, plenty of people get migraines. But I noticed that my hands and my feet would get numb randomly. Oh, it happens, you're growing, you're an adolescent, it happens. Okay. So, to no fault of anybody, nobody put me in an MRI machine, which is the only way that you really can tell if you have it. I think I found out through a CAT scan, but mainly you want to get an MRI for a diagnosis. So I went through my adolescence, I went through my teenage years just having headaches and getting migraines, and that's just how my life was. Sometimes they would last a week, even 2. I would be out of school for 5 days straight and just in bed. And I'm a thumper when I walk, so my parents always knew that I had a headache because I can't thump when I have a headache because it hurts. About 2 years ago, almost to the day, it was late August of 2018, I was at work and had one of my migraines. So I went to work because I've just learned how to function with headaches, because I had no other choice. And the headache had gotten so bad that I actually lost vision in my left eye for a second, maybe even 2. It was not long at all, but it was enough for me to recognize that it happened and scare the crap out of me. At that point, I went to my manager and I was like, hey, I need to log off. I need to go to the urgent care. This happened. Stupidly, I drove myself to urgent care. And they were deciding whether I was having a stroke or an aneurysm. So with that information petrifying me, I called my husband and we went to the ER, and I was immediately taken back for testing because I was just thought I was having a brain aneurysm. I did not have a brain aneurysm. They put me in a CAT scan machine, which was where they found my type 1 Arnold Chiari Malformation, and then I sought treatment out by a neurologist out of Penn Medicine in Philadelphia, who I adore, and I've gone to them for all of my specialty at this point because they are the only neurologist in the area who would see me, because not many really are comfortable treating a Chiari malformation because it is so rare. So as I said, my diagnosis story was really dramatic because after I got an additional MRI, they thought I had a brain clot in my brain. I had to get a third MRI to prove that I didn't have the brain clot. And we're all hunky-dory now, and I just have this weird brain disease. So the reason I wanted to make this video was to bring a couple things to light about how you guys are going to see me in my videos, because at this point I edit out a lot of my symptoms because I am currently in a flare-up. I'm at the end of it. I feel like my pain's starting to go away, so I feel like I'm on the mend. There's a lot of people out there who either just got diagnosed or are being told that they have type 1 Chiari malformation and you should be asymptomatic, which is what I've been told for a really long time. Type 1's barely even ever diagnosed because they find it accidentally looking for something else, because you're not supposed to really even have symptoms with it. I am here to tell you that you're not crazy. If you have what I have, your symptoms are real. It took me a while to get my doctors to agree to that. And coming from someone who has multiple chronic illnesses, I had to fight for myself to even get somebody to listen to me sometimes. Living with Chiari malformation is not horrible. It doesn't make my life hard. So it takes getting used to with your symptoms, and you know, it takes training to really recognize what's a symptom, what do you need to be worried about, what's normal, because when you get to a point, and hopefully I hope that you do, that you are no longer in pain, you never realized you were in pain your whole life. So the first time I woke up and I was pain-free in my head and my body, everything, I cried because I never knew that I was in pain my entire life, and I didn't know about it because I didn't know any different. So some symptoms that I go through is what just happened. I get tongue-tied really easily. I have significant memory loss. I don't have a lot of memories of my childhood or anything like that. I stutter from time to time. My face will twitch from time to time, which the face twitching is not necessarily attributed to the Chiari malformation. I attribute it to it, but it could also be a number of things like my anxiety or anything like that. But these are things that I've edited out of my videos, and I want to just bring them to light because it can make my editing choppy, and I kind of just wanted to bring it to the table and explain to you guys why you may be seeing me stumble over my words, or why I could start the video happy-go-lucky and so excited and end the video extremely frustrated, because the harder I think about my words, the more frustrated I get that I should just know them. And that's another thing that I wanted to just kind of bring to the table as well. If you're watching this and you have this disease, it's completely normal. I, on a regular basis, can't find my words. I don't know the word I'm trying to say, or I think one word and say another, and it doesn't happen terribly often, and I'm generally able to continue a conversation without the other person even knowing, but it's frustrating and it's stressful. And the more you stress about it, the more it happens. It's how I feel with my face twitching. The more it happens, it's because I'm stressed about somebody seeing me twitching and not know what's going on. But at the end of the day, the main symptoms that I deal with are pain throughout my body and my nerves and my joints. I get numbness in my feet and my hands. I have trouble talking. I stutter. My face twitches. And, you know, I do my best to stay hydrated, because where the malformation is in your brain, it can sometimes block fluid, and it is crucial that you stay hydrated. As I say this, I haven't had a sip of water yet today. And when I'm in flare-up, I stay away from inflammatory foods like corn the best that I can. I'm not very good at it. My husband is always asking me to make sure that I stay away from that, but you know, the best that I can, I try and stay away from it. but things like that that I can do holistically that I don't need medication. But what I wanted to tell you is there's nothing wrong with needing medication for something like this. I was on an intense anti-inflammatory for about a year before I got everything under control, and it was the best decision that I ever made. The disease that I live with is not curable. There's no cure for it, and there is a surgery that can relieve some of the pressure in your head, but it doesn't take it away. So for someone with type 1, it doesn't always make sense to have the surgery. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was insightful and giving you a little bit of background on my life with a brain disease. And I hope that this video reached some people out there that were just diagnosed, have a loved one that was just diagnosed, or just trying to raise awareness for the disease, because that is ultimately my goal. Because a lot of people don't know what the hell I'm going through, and a lot of people don't know what the heck I'm talking about when I tell them what I have, because it's not common. It's 1 in 1,000 people have this. We're testing more and more people for it, which is great, because then we're going to find more people and it can be more common, because I feel like it is more common than the studies have shown that it is. So I'm always available if you have this disease and you want to talk. My socials were in the beginning of the video, but I'll also put them right here for you. And make sure that you have somewhere to go. You can absolutely reach out and talk to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a little bit different for me, and I hope that you got something out of it. And if you watched it, I appreciate your support. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, all of the things, subscribe, and do all of the things. I'll be back with a fun makeup video, my next video. But I appreciate your support, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.